I watched the movie last night. I really enjoyed it, and I think you are really fantastic in it.
Thank you.
And back in 2014, I also really enjoyed this movie, Lucy.
Cool.
And I thought that even though the two movies have different themes and deliver different messages, but I feel like your roles in these two movies are really have some similarities. Like they both have superpowers, and both movies have Asian elements. What did you do differently in preparation for this one versus,
For Lucy. Well, the thing is that while there are definitely like certain similarities, of course, yeah, the Asian influence is one, and then, perhaps some of the themes in some way are similar, this kind of like self-identity crisis. I think the characters are living really different experiences. In Lucy, the character is, as she's becoming part of this like greater awareness, she really is, it's in that you realize that like the things that make you, right, all these like your experiences and that inform your behavior, like none of those things matter, because in fact like there's this kind of greater awareness that she has that has nothing to do with her the whatever like nurturing experience she had as a as a person. And with the Major, she's really a a totally identityless character that's like in search for the things that make her human. She's trying to understand what it is to be human, and if she has no relationship with her past, then like who is she then?
Yeah.
And how did like what informs her decisions or what informs her future?
like memory versus the actions of her.
Right, exactly. It's that age-old theme, that nature versus nurture, do we have a ghost or a soul or a spirit that is like what makes us us, or are we a product of, what our parents teach us and, what we know from our past?
And I don't know if you watched Westworld. It also deals with artificial intelligence, but I think that it's not accurate to call the Major artificial intelligence, because her brain, her thoughts are human thoughts. But I think I can only imagine that adds an extra layer or level of challenge to you, because you have to balance this human nature of the Major versus her body that's machine.
Of course it is, that's the great challenge here, is really that the character is having this very complex inner life. She's dealing with feelings of abandonment and betrayal and self-doubt and all this questioning.
Don't
but
know
yet,
who to trust.
Right, she doesn't know who to trust. She doesn't know, like really even who she's supposed to be. And then, but she's trapped in the limitations of this machinate body, and she, doesn't have a means to communicate her feelings with her body. There's this like mind-body disconnect that's happening, and it was challenging just to be able to try to respect both of those sides of her and create a dynamic character.
Right. And also the suit. I heard it's from silicone. Was it uncomfortable to
The suit was okay. It's not. I've worn more uncomfortable costumes. When you make a movie that's like takes place in 1910 and you're like corseted within an inch of your life, like, and you're wearing these crazy heavy fabrics, and like let me tell you, the future is way more comfortable than the past. I think that just it's kind of comparable to like a wetsuit that you would wear for scuba diving. You just kind of a little bit of effort to get into it, but it wasn't
and
so
get
bad.
out of it.
Yeah,
when you need to go to the restroom. Or
getting out of it was a little bit kind of like, okay, somebody help me. You have somebody pull it off you, like after you've been sweating in it for 12 hours. But
were you ever concerned that it might be a little bit too revealing?
When I first met with Rupert, just even before we decided to talk about the character or anything, like a year before, he was like, "Hey, Rupert, nice to meet you. You're not going to be naked, by the way." And I was like, "Okay, good," because I saw the animation and it was like
all naked.
Yeah, basically like this really naked suit. But no, it was okay. It's kind of thick, actually, that material. It's sort of like, it's like a thick silicone, and it was okay. It actually like adds bulk, and you're like, great. Now I've got this like bulky nude colored plastic suit that I'm wearing. It wasn't like my finest moment, but
You did a lot of roles filled with actions. Are you an outdoorsy person? Work out a lot?
I do work out a lot. I like to stay fit. It's fun to have like a, kind of physical goals for yourself. And, I like the discipline of training. That kind of helps my work too.
Yeah. How am I doing on time? Do I have...
Thank you. 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. So as a Chinese fan, I have to tell you, we love you, and there are so many of us. Well, one reason for that is because we have a huge population. But so I'm sort of obligated to ask, do you have anything to say to your Chinese fans?
It's been every time we go to China, whether we've been doing stuff in Beijing.
I'm from Beijing.
Oh, cool. Yeah, neat. We always have like a huge fan reception, and I think, it's just really exciting to know that you guys have such a love for film, and you just are just like really enthusiastic about also American cinema, which is great. I mean, you have your own like very established cinema, but it's just really great, I think, as coming from American cinema, to have such a warm welcome. And the first time I got to go bring a film to China was with Captain America: Civil War, and it was just like the fans were just like so pumped that we were there, and that it means a lot. It's really like, it's very touching to know that film translates all over the world, and like and that we could just have I think have such a warm welcome in China. It's lovely. It feels very fulfilling. So thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I took